The JSE, we saw halfway through the trading session coming off earlier lows, but one would question if you would see it ending so much into the green by the close.
Yeah, Alishia, I mean, there was blood on the streets today, and looking at the markets now, you'd kind of be scratching your head going, well, you know, where did it happen? We've seen a big reversal in the market today. Market opened down 300 points earlier on in the session, and it's made a full recovery, and it's closed up in the region of about 100 points. So we've seen a 400-point turnaround there. And that's due to the US market opening up a little bit stronger and a little bit of a bounce in the commodity prices.
Of course, volatility has been the name of the game for the longest while now. The thing is, if we're looking at it broadly speaking, many out there saying that now we face a scenario where stocks possibly priced in an overly optimistic economic path and are now forced to unwind. What's your view on where we're at and where we're headed at this stage?
Alishia, I mean, yes, we always have to be aware of where we are in the recovery and if the recovery is sustainable. But at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. And if you look at the earnings that have come out recently in the United States, nearly all earnings that have come out have beat analyst estimates. So based on that, you know, we believe that the recovery is still in place and still intact.
Well, to a large extent, where we have seen sell-offs, it's manifested itself within the commodity space. Those commodity prices, just as volatile as the action we've seen on the equity space on a day-to-day basis. Is this a signal to get out of the riskier areas of the equity market at this stage? What is your strategy within this context?
Alishia, our sense is that nothing's changed. You know, yes, we have seen some short-term volatility in the commodity prices, but at the end of the day, you know, global demand is still intact for commodities. BHP Bulletin came out today saying that global commodity demand is robust, and they don't see anything changing so far. And based on this, we believe that you know, you still got to have your money in commodities. And I think we should be using this as a buying opportunity into some of the resource stocks that have been hit the hardest in this commodity sell-off.
Certainly, you've not been alone with that view. I mean, some saying the commodity prices are still at such high levels that it's extremely profitable for the companies involved, and the valuations for big miners don't anywhere reflect the current commodity prices. Would you be looking at those diversified players, or looking at things on a one-on-one basis and evaluating companies individually?
We like the diversified miners, specifically Anglo's, Billiton, Sasol, all of those offering great values down at these levels. And if analysts haven't factored in the current rand price of the commodities, then yeah, that could mean even better things for the companies when they report later on.
Well, it's been a busy day on the earnings front here in South Africa. Vodacom, one of the companies out with numbers today, reporting a 28% rise in full-year profit, and of course helped by lower one-off charges and solid subscriber growth as well. Your overall impressions of those numbers released?
Overall impressions, we're happy with the results. They came out with numbers pretty much at the top end of their guidance that they gave a little bit recently. They've seen poor performance in the international business. They say largely due to the performance of the rand. But after them increasing their dividend payout ratio, you know, that should give the stock a really strong underpin and a solid base to work off from here.
Of course, we did see revenue rise 4.5% to 61 billion rand on the back of a 9% increase in subscriber numbers. We saw increased data revenue as well. But to bear in mind is that data is a lower margin business, and getting those ARPU levels up is still a pretty big challenge. So just how much of a concern do you hold when it comes to Vodacom?
A little bit concerned with Vodacom. Their diversification isn't as good as, let's say, an MTN, where they're spread across Africa and the Middle East. And you know, in the mobile phone market, where the market is saturated, I think they're going to struggle to find growth here. And personally, I think the money should rather be in MTN over Vodacom.
Well, having said that, with the whole rebrand that we've seen Vodacom go under, what are you making of ability of this company to actually leverage off that Vodafone brand, specifically when it comes to its Africa strategy?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't see the new brand. At the end of the day, they are working in a saturated market, and they are going to struggle to find that growth that they're looking for. And that's the reason we prefer MTN.